Government's attack on various sectors in this country is a very calculated move to destabilize and disenfranchise institutions that play a critical role in elections in this country. The elections are less than 2 months away, and you're having a situation where the fourth estate, which is the media, are being asked to resubmit documents for reaccreditation, even after they were accredited. You have a situation where civil society that supports government very majorly in its mandate, in its core mandate on civic education, is being clamped down. You have a situation where a coalition, NGOs, is being pursued by the state like NGOs is a terrorist entity. And so when the government decides to freeze accounts of organizations that have a key role to play in elections without any formal notice, because here is the thing, even if you're going to accuse someone of terrorism acts, the least you can do is follow due process. The banks have become accomplices to the government because they have gone ahead and carried out these instructions without one, asking, but also without two, following due process. The telecom companies in this country are also part of the witch hunt on civil society groups. So it's a very calculated move. It's an extremely calculated move to ensure that the participation of these different institutions in the coming elections, which is paramount, is clamped down, and those actions then become null and void. If you look at a lot of the organizations whose accounts have been frozen, those are organizations that are supporting heavily election monitors. So when you freeze accounts, how are monitors supposed to monitor elections when the time comes? How are we supposed to have a credible election observation report if we do not have the means to monitor and observe elections? So it's a calculated move, like I said, to try and give this election a face of not being transparent, a face of not being credible, a face of not being free, and a face of not being fair, because the actors involved couldn't participate. I believe that with the coming elections, the media has a very heavy role to play. The media has a stake to play, but in the event that the media shies away from its role, the onset of social media, the availability of various platforms has given rise to what we call citizen journalists. So whether or not mainstream media reports on what will happen around elections, different individuals who have access to smartphones, different individuals who have access to the internet shall still report about what will be happening. So yes, the mainstream media has a role to play, but every citizen has the ability and potential to be a citizen journalist and also equally play the role of information dissemination, but also play the role of telling us how elections are going on in their different locations. The attack on civil society is an attack to the entire country. It's an attack to every citizen who has in one way or the other benefited from the services of civil society. If you look at civil society organizations, we provide educational services, we provide access to health services, we provide information services, we train, we grow the nation, we pay taxes, okay? And so every citizen should be asking that if a sector that contributes this much can be labeled terrorist, how about you, the citizen? How much more would you be labeled? And after they are done clamping down on every civil society organization, the next targets will be individuals. We already have citizens whose accounts have equally been frozen. And so this may look far away from you, but you could be the next victim of this freezing of accounts in this country. So stand with us and join us as we push back on this oppression by the state in regard to the work of civil society organizations in this country.